Howdy YouTube, we are back with a reaction. We're doing Luke Stevens live. Just about everyone loves Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. I wonder who doesn't love it. Shock and awe. If you like Luke Stevens after this video, give him a like and a sub. If you like me after this Luke Stevens video, give me a like and a sub. Also comment for engagement. I think that's how that works. Also, sorry, I'm trying to remember to be better at this. I'm trying to hit Twitch affiliate this year. Check out my Twitch page, twitch.tv/inplaythejolly. I need 27 more follows to hit affiliate. Every follow counts. Much appreciated. If not, go with God. It's fine with me. You got to spend your time the way you want. It's your life. Let's get into the react.
Eurogamer, they're an outlier right now. They're an outlier. KCD2 just launched, or review embargo launched. It launches in a handful of hours.
The reviews have been pretty good so far.
They are an outlier because right now the Metacritic, as of when I'm saying this, the Metacritic for KCD2 is in the low 90s. It is universal critical acclaim. Everybody's eating it up. It's one of my favorite games I've ever played. I love it dearly.
Really?
And yet Eurogamer came out and gave it a 6 out of 10. How? Can they do that?
Oh, they must have not liked how hard it was.
It is a hard and maddening slog at times, but one that still has...
Okay, in all fairness, it is. There's a lot of if it's like the first game, there's a lot of micromanaging where you can go do a quest or two and then suddenly, oh my God, I need to sleep. And then you sleep and that dehydrates you and you need to get hydrated. And then you're like, oh my God, I also need to get some food. And then you gotta get some food. And if you're poisoned, you have to deal with that. If you ate some bad food, you'll get poisoned, food poisoned, and that can slowly kill you. There's a lot of and then you have to go do another quest. But oh my God, you didn't wash up. So when you go to talk to somebody, you might have some dirt or some blood on you, and then your charisma is lowered, and then it's harder for you to speech check something because you didn't know there was some dirt on your boot. This game, it is not. The combat can be hard if you're not good at something like this. However, it is maddening. I'll give you that. It's not super hard. It's just tedious. It's just super realistic and crazy, and that's part of why I love it, because the difficulty comes from it not holding your hand with anything at all.
Has its moments where it surprises and quietly delights. Like the original, this isn't an RPG designed to make you feel good. You continue to be little more than a passenger in this historical tapestry, following alongside or along.
Yeah, I like that. I like that I'm not like overpowered or the chosen one or anything like that. I'm just some guy. I'm some dude whose town got wrecked, and then I got wrecked, and then I had to get saved a bunch of times because life sucks.
Behind the horse, blah 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 blah. I would pull this up and we would read it, but my general rule is that I don't engage with stuff that I feel is motivated through bad faith. When it's people not being genuine in their critiques or their opinions on something, but they're just regurgitating what they feel they need to for the sake of their dogma or opinions as dictated by peer pressure from their communities, whatever else. That holds for people that
yeah, you got to be careful what kind of community you attach yourself to.
Game Studios channel, I have to hype up Starfield no matter what. It has to be the game of the generation. No matter what.
You don't have to hype up a Bethesda thing. It being a Bethesda thing already gets people pretty hyped, but also disappointed. And you should not hype up something that is mediocre at best. If you genuinely liked it, yeah. But if you're liking it because you think your community is going to eat you alive, one, you're in the wrong community and you shouldn't do that, and you need to leave for your own safety and mental health. Two, don't pander. No one's going to learn a lesson or make a better game if you keep pandering.
It looks really lackluster. I don't engage with that stuff, except maybe poking fun at it, as we're doing here with this Eurogamer thing. And it goes on the flip side when people are being ridiculously negative about something and arguing in bad faith about it. And the reason this is important for Eurogamers because they also they had an interesting take back in the day with the original Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Do you guys remember one of the quote-unquote scandals around the original KCD2? There were some types of gaming journalists that were upset that this retelling of medieval, A Knight's Tale in medieval Bohemia They were frustrated that it had so many like white people in it.
Historically
Which
accurate.
sounds
That's what they
insane.
mean to say.
You know, it's like it would be like playing Ghost of Tsushima and being like, I don't know, man, it's too Japanese for me.
It would be like playing Assassin's Creed Shadow, and the main character is a black guy and a samurai.
Like, what are you talking about, man? They didn't even give the original game a score. Okay, as Daniel Vavra, the like actual game director of KCD, tweets out here, instead of challenging the Dark Age, it reinterprets 615 years later. The game seems to delight in it. Instead of seeing notes in the margin of a history book, we get what feels like a glossy pamphlet advertising an escape into an oddly romanticized past. And it's that, blah, blah.
There's nothing romanticized about the past in the first game. I can tell you that right now. It's all a pile of crap. It treats you like a pile of crap, and you are meant to treat everything else like nothing matters because you were trying to survive. It is not romanticized at all. They did not play that game.
Blah, 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 going on, basically calling them racist for having so many like Europeans in this game. Of course, they gave
How
Dragon
dare
Age
they?
Veilguard a perfect score. Said it was the best entry in the series, right up there with the best of BioWare of all time. Bold take.
Fire that guy.
Okay. What they go on to say, though, this is also clip from Michael because I don't want to pull up the article myself and give them ad revenue. There are many times I wish Kingdom Come
Smart.
Deliverance 2 was easier to like, easier to get into, easier to enjoy, and easier to savor in the long run. And that's before we get into the naughty briar patch of its director being a vocal support.
That sounded so pretentious. The naughty briar patch. Oh, there was something so smug about that sentence, and it's not even over yet.
Supporter of a movement whose effects continue to cause real and tangible harm to the wider industry. This, I believe, is in response to his statement saying that you should just make good games and not focus on like virtue signaling stuff for cultural reasons. He said just make a good game instead, and this is apparently bad enough that this should be brought up in the review. But I also don't think it really cares about being liked either, which is fine, as I don't really like it myself. But there's a lot to admire here, sure, but you have to do so on its own terms. It is a hard and maddening slog at times, but one that still has its moments where it surprises and quietly delights. What? Their X
Yeah.
post, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, is a gorgeous medieval RPG that continues to be just as divisive, prickly, and abrasive as its predecessor. Whenever a game journalist, quote unquote journalist, reviews a video game and they start bringing up the political history or motivations of the game's creators,
That's a red flag.
you might be dealing with somebody who's not actually reviewing the game, but they're more just checking it against a Puritan checklist of whether it does what it's supposed to do. It's like, it's not about being a good game.
It didn't
It's about
fall in
being an
line. Get it?
important game. That's why Dragon Age of Veilguard was so good, because it wasn't necessarily good, it was important. Who cares if it's a good game? You know, so Eurogamer is one of those outlets that I
Dragon Age
I don't
fans
think you should
cared.
take seriously.
I
don't take
cared.
seriously. I'm not going to pull up their article and give them ad revenue. I'm good, because I don't think that they were actually engaging with the game in good faith. I think they went into it knowing that they were going to give it a bad score because they didn't like the creative director, saying that he prioritizes game design above everything else, and that's that. Class Ambrose says that's the same reviewer as the Wukong review. Yeah, and they also went against Wukong for the same reasons as that IGN hit piece where they were trying to get Black Myth Wukong canceled because some developers said things that were quite crude. If you translated them through Google Translate, they came out quite crude. The other most
Yeah, they're from
hilarious thing at
another
the
country
end
where they're not as
of
politically correct about that sort of thing.
that whole Black Myth Wukong hit piece that they did was that they came out and said at the very end of this whole like hit piece on the game, they came out and said, and the other concerning thing about game science as a studio is that if you look at their logo, it looks sort of like a sperm. So the logo, you say,
That just makes me like them more.
it looks vaguely like a sperm, and therefore they hate women or something. I don't understand how these pieces connect, man. Like, again, if you made the logo,
Yeah, you're
look
really
kind of
stretching, and like it's more
fallopian tubes or
concerning
something, would
and
that
telling
mean that they
about
hate
you
men? No, I don't think so. Like, what
that
are
you
you
looked at
talking
that and saw
about?
sperm.
It just is actual brain rot. It's on both sides of the aisle at any given time. Don't get me wrong.
Why
There's
is Todd Howard
stupid
up here?
people everywhere. But that was another level of
That a
like,
Todd
you
Howard
just
candle?
said that and didn't burst into like tears laughing at yourself. Everyone who just heard you say that is dumber and has had their IQ lowered as a result of being exposed to your thought process. So anyway, Eurogamer, similar thing. I don't think they were ever going to engage with the game in good faith. I'm shocked that they were given a review code anyways after how poorly they treated everybody at Warhorse with the first game. But
Yeah, why did they give,
I mean,
give them a review
it's
code?
just where we are. Sometimes some slip through the cracks.
I feel like that would have been
On
a
the one hand,
skip.
props to them for still giving them review codes so that, you know, they kind of rise above it. But also, I would not have shed a tear if they did not send them a review code. So there you go. Anyway, Key CD2 is fantastic, and I highly recommend it.
I can't imagine it would be
And
bad. I
love
mean,
it
they worked
dearly,
really hard
and
on
it's all
that.
I can think about, and I've been saving opening the collector's edition for after the review lifted. Now the review's out, so I can open that. Maybe we'll do that later on screen.
I don't think I watched his review, did I? I watched Mr. Matty Plays.
After Neon Knight's
and
preview,
I think What Culture.
I was like, I bet he's gonna like it. And his review, 170 hours of Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, my full review, and he's like, it's one of my favorite games ever. I love it dearly, and it's really good. I just can't wait to play it again. That's the thing. Most big RPGs you spend dozens of hours in, you get to the end and you know, you're like, okay, I'm closing the book, I'm ready to move on. But I just think with this, it's just so good, you just want to keep going.
Yeah, I get that.
You know, it's really impressive. If anything, maybe I'll wait to do another run until they release the hardcore mode.
There's a
Because they have
hardcore mode?
mode that introduces even more like sim elements, and so maybe I'll wait for that.
Oh, dude, there's a hardcore mode. I want to play that. All right, if that was Luke. If you like him in his smooth, buttery voice, give him a like and a follow. This was a great video. Very short, which I appreciated. I hear a lot of Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 stuff. I'm like eating it up now. No. I do have like over 100 hours in the first game so far, and I'm not done with it yet. I spent a lot of time doing side stuff and unimportant things. That's the mark of a good open world game, where you get so lost in it that you spend too much time doing things that aren't the actual game itself.